Brian in Austin, Texas writes, Paul, on your Octave record, The Art of Hi-Fi Bass, take what you need, that's the name of the track. What instrument or instruments are producing the ridiculously low bass notes? It's been eating at my subconscious. I can't tell if it's a tuned down cello, and if it is a cello layered with low notes on the pipe organ, maybe it's a synthesizer. If you would be so kind as to answer this burning question, I can put my mind at ease and simply enjoy the beauty of the music and challenge my neighbor's patience. It's a synthesizer. There is no natural instrument at all on that piece. And it's a little bit of a strange piece that was done by a fella and his, I think it was his wife. And they brought their own synthesizer. I don't remember what kind it was. In fact, it was one I wasn't really familiar with. They brought their own synthesizer in, and as they played the upper parts, they would bow. It was really fun to make that. I want to do more of those because we haven't produced enough stuff with bass that frightens people. And God, I love stuff like that. Some of these pieces that come out that just have frightening bass are so much fun. But yeah, it's a synthesizer. And there's a lot of good stuff like that on Octave Records. So if you have a chance to check out Octave Records, please do so. We work really hard at trying to preserve the recorded arts. Gosh, you know, I rant on about this. The good and the new, the good and the bad news about the recording arts is that more and more pro studios are going the way of the dodo bird. That's good and bad. It's good because the reason they're going away is that it doesn't take much today to build a studio. You need a room, you need some USB microphones, a computer, a copy of Logic if you're an Apple fan, or Pro Tools, and you're talking under a couple of $1,000s, and you have a recording studio. And it is possible, if you have a good ear and you know what you're doing, to make some really good stuff. That's the good news. And we get more music out of it. That's the even better news. The not so good news is, like anything, just being able to have the tools to do something doesn't make you a recording expert, and it doesn't make for great recordings, right? It's like saying, I have a word processor. I can write as good as John Steinbeck. Well, just because you can type and you have a word processor doesn't mean you can write books that people want to read. So, I mean, books are a great example, actually, now that I think of it. Amazon publishes well over 1 million new books every single year. 1 million. Now, I don't know about you, but when I read a book, it takes me a good week or so. And I don't read a new book every week, because that would be 52 a year. I maybe read 3 to 4 new books a year. That's about it. So when you have 1 million new books, and then consider that 99% of them are it's just not very good, you realize that volume doesn't create value. And in the same way, the ability of musicians to have home studios is a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing because we get more music. It's a curse because overall, the quality of recordings today are going down, down, down. And studios that make their livings making great recordings are going away, away, away. There's one in Longmont just closed, and it's kind of sad. So one of the reasons that we have Octave Records, that we invest our time and our money, because it certainly does not make a profit, is to further the art of high performance recordings. We don't compromise quality at Octave. We record everything at this ridiculous DSD 256 where every track is gigabytes of data, and we do 16 tracks or 30 tracks or whatever. That's a lot of data. And we do it at these excruciatingly high sample rates just in order to bring you examples and every month to give you something to play that you can trust and rely upon is audiophile quality, and that's what it's all about. So, all right, enough of a shameless plug. Thanks for listening.